Tay ethnic costumes. Living in the northern mountainous provinces such as Tuyên Quang, Thanh Nguyen, Chao Bang, Bacan, Lao Cai, Ha Giang, Yen Bai, etc., the Tay ethnic group has created its own identity through cultural features such as cuisine, folk games, language, etc. The Tay people have a treasure trove of traditional culture. In particular, traditional costumes have long become a cultural symbol, as well as the simple and unique beauty of the Tay people in all regions. Today, to make daily life and production more convenient, a part of the Tay ethnic group has changed their style of dressing to be similar to the Kin ethnic group. However, ethnic costumes are still preserved and passed down from generation to generation, especially worn on major holidays of the year. According to statistics in 2019, there are a total of 155,510 Tay ethnic people living in Bacan province, accounting for 52.9% of the population in the province and 18.9% of the total Tay people in the country. Traditional costumes of the Tay people are made from self-woven cotton fabric, dyed indigo uniformly on men's and women's clothing, with almost no decorative patterns. No one knows when the Tay ethnic brocade weaving profession began, but it is known that the brocade fabrics woven by them have long been famous for their beautiful, colorful patterns, imbued with ethnic nuances. The beauty of the Tay ethnic AO dye. Each ethnic group has its own traditional costume, which is both a creative product of the ethnic group from the past to the present, and one of the values preserved, spread, contributing to the national cultural identity. The traditional costume of the Tay people is no exception. The Tay ethnic costume can be considered one of the simplest costumes of the 54 ethnic groups. Although the costume is simple, it has a very special meaning. The unique and noteworthy thing about the Tay costume is not the way it is designed, but the way it is used indigo, which is common and uniform on both men and women's costumes, as well as the way of wearing a white undershirt inside an indigo outer shirt. Therefore, the way the Tay people dress partly reflects the cultural beauty and customs of the ethnic group. Wherever they are, the cultural beauty in the Tay people's costumes is still preserved and promoted. The costumes of the Tay people in different localities are basically the same, only differing in the way of combining colors on the collar, sleeves, or the way of choosing fabric colors, but basically still retain the traditional beauty of the Tay people. If the Dao, Thai, Cham, Hmong women have quite elaborate costumes, with many colors and details, the costumes of Tay women are extremely simple. It is a pure indigo-dyed AO dye, without any embroidered motifs. This seems to show the simple, honest character of Tay women. Depending on each region, there will be some differences in form, but basically the AO dye of Tay women consists of 5 panels, with a 2 centimeters high standing collar. The Tay AO dye is usually sewn from the 2 arms, through the armpits, down to the hem of the dress. The most difficult part is sewing the neckline, and the flap from the armpit down to the waist. Whether the dress is neat and elegant or not depends largely on the curves of the neck and the flap. When wearing the AO dye, Tay women use a silk belt wrapped around the waist, tied and released behind the back. Young girls often wrap the belt with pink, blue, red, purple silk. Older people use indigo black. In the past, women often sewed by hand and did everything by hand, from picking indigo leaves, soaking them in water for 3 to 4 days, mixing lime, filtering the clear water from the ash mixed with indigo, and dyeing with alcohol before dyeing. However, the first dyeing could not bring the right color, and had to be dyed 2 or 3 more times to get the desired color. If in the past, women used AO dye regularly, today, the concept of the dress culture of Tay women has changed somewhat, especially for young girls, in order to adapt to life and communication. It can be said that the traditional costumes of some ethnic groups have been and are being deformed, losing their roots, and being replaced by new costumes. If not preserved and promoted in time, in the near future, traditional costumes of ethnic minorities will be lost, and the national cultural identity will be difficult to find again. In that situation, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism issued Decision Number 209/QD, Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, dated January 18, 2019, approving the project, preserving and promoting traditional costumes of Vietnamese ethnic minorities in the current period. The birth of this project is necessary to preserve the traditional costumes of ethnic minorities in particular, and of the Vietnamese people in general.